there, I'm Liz Taylor,
Hey.
and this is Scott Weatherall. Okay, where you're going to
Hello.
go ahead.
Oh.
This is Scott. This
Scott
is
Weatherall. Hello.
Scott is awesome. Scott is the first person I ever signed, actually, with a feature film through Chamois Media for distribution. I want him to tell you all about his film. It's so good. It's called Formosa Boulevard. So look it up, find it online and watch it because it's great. So tell me how that happened, because it was shot where?
We shot it in Taiwan. It was a moment in my life where I had done a lot of short films and commercials, and I wanted to. My dream is to be a filmmaker. It always has been. And
Well, you are a filmmaker,
and,
a really
well,
good filmmaker.
Well, that's what I said to myself. I'm like, if I really want to say that I am a filmmaker, there's only one thing that I have to do. It took me 29 years to figure it out, but it was go and shoot a film. And I'd been living in Taiwan for 5 years at that point, so I'd made a lot of connections with people. So I wrote the script around the things that I knew I had. I had the locations, the main actor, and I was just going to go out and shoot it on my little 7D camera. And I started to talk to people about it once I had the script written. And more and more people jumped on board. I went and traveled with a DP around China for a job, and he David Barker, and we talked. We got to know each other over a couple weeks, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll come shoot this film for you." And
that.
he jumped on and brought some great Taiwanese actors on as well.
Yeah, I watched it and I just thought, wow, this is such a good film.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you just found all the pieces of the puzzle.
Absolutely,
From
yeah. Just
traveling,
some relationships that I met. And Taiwan's kind of a nice melting pot of expats, a lot of artists, a lot of musicians. And one of my favorite things about the movie is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of that, and all the artists that were able to be on there, people from all over the world. And
So you stay in touch with them and say, hey, we have distribution. Do they even know? Do they even know?
Yeah, absolutely. I sent them out. Yeah, I try to keep them posted as much as I can about what's going on. But yeah, so I mean, that was my dream, was just to make the film, and just that process took about 3 years to get the finish. We shot for 14 days, but just doing reshoots. And if you watch the movie, there's a lot of clips of Taiwan in it. So we just went around and just kept getting more and more. I really wanted this to be personally just my experiences in Taiwan, and to have something that I could cherish as
Except the
almost a
opening
souvenir.
scene. I'm not going to do a spoiler. You're going to have to watch the film.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't want that to be one of your experiences. That's how it starts. Like, oh my God.
But even that rooftop was the rooftop of my producer, one of my producer partners. It was his apartment building at the rooftop. So I have memories of each place, and all that stuff is just fun. It's like a yearbook, because there's a lot of friends and a lot of people throughout my journey in Taiwan who are connected with the film or in the film.
Total passion project, right?
Absolutely.
And so, okay, so as an indie filmmaker then, right? And what did it end up costing? Because everybody's thinking, oh, I can't do it, it's going to cost me a fortune. Did it cost you a fortune to make?
It didn't cost a fortune. I think all in, I put probably around $10,000 to $15,000 into it.
For a feature film.
That's
that
we shot
amazing.
In Asia, though. So I mean, in that regard, we shot in a bowling alley for 2 days, and we rented it for $600.
Oh my goodness, that's so amazing.
So it was and we had the whole run of the bowling alley.
You make me want to go shoot a film in Asia. I still have 5 years on my China visa.
You should do it, absolutely. And I mean, especially in Taiwan, they wanted film. They were very excited to see foreigners shooting films. One night we were shooting in the field, and we had big lights up and stuff, and
and this is, hold on, because through all contacts that you knew,
yes,
that you made there, and it's like, okay, you guys have lighting equipment, you guys have camera equipment,
Yeah, we actually rented a big generator to come out and come into this field while we were lighting, just lighting up a field at nighttime. So it was, big lights. So the police came out, and we had our Taiwanese crew go up, and we're like, oh no, let's keep shooting until they tell us that we can't. But they just came around, and they're like, hey, you guys shooting a movie here? Yeah. And
they
we're like, oh, that's cool. Can we watch? Yeah. So we were like, sweet. So that was everywhere.
You wrote it, right?
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to write?
I wrote it in a month.
Wow.
I kind of had the idea for it, and then and again, it was supposed to be kind of more of a short film, and I didn't really plan anything. That was kind of what I learned the most, is that the planning part. So
was lacking, or you're glad that you did it?
I was more.
Fly by the seat of your pants?
More happened. It happened in such a way that I kind of just went along for the ride. I wanted it just to be this small little film, and then once more crew and more people started getting involved, it kind of went out of my control, and I was just like, okay, well, let's just try and keep up with it, and we'll keep pushing, and everything will hopefully turn out.
Oh, it turned out so great.
So, but we ended up shooting. It was only about 50 minutes when I got to the edit of it, and I was like, oh, well, this isn't a short film and it's not a feature film, so what can I do to this film
some
now
scenes, right?
to add a scene? So I actually added on the first scene of the movie.
Oh, it was an add-on scene.
That we shot almost a year and a half later.
It grips you.
In one day, yeah, and
like,
it actually explains a little bit of what's going to happen, and because when it was just going to be a short, I thought he'd get away with a lot of stuff. He'd be more ambiguous about what the story is because it's a short film, so people expect that there's going to be some loose ends.
I love that it turned into a feature for
you,
for your first feature, and now you're getting money.
Absolutely.
Scott got his first check.
Absolutely.
So if you want distribution, for goodness sakes, what else? Well, you know what? It's ridiculous how many people don't take me up on it. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
I'm very happy that I did, and my expectations. I was saying to you earlier, it's like. My expectations were to make a film and it be on YouTube, and
that you've done
my
something.
friends
You've
would
got
have seen,
something, an accomplishment,
absolutely.
right?
And what it's been able to do for me, it's just raised the bar more and more. It makes me realize that the success or the gratification that I get from making the film was what I want to do with my life. I mean, that was everything. Doesn't matter about the money, but don't get me wrong. When that check came in, and it was for about $300, and I was blown away. I mean,
which is Yusef's here, so we're gonna grab Yusef. We're gonna grab Yusef, and we're gonna continue this. But thank you, Scott Weatherall.
Thank you, everyone.
He's
Liz,
amazing.
Make sure you give your movie to Liz. She will do you right. And,
you've got to watch his Formosa Boulevard. Look it up all around the world on Amazon. It's everywhere, actually.
It's everywhere, yeah.
It's distributed between Chamois Media and Shanghai Media. They've partnered. So Shanghai Media has distribution to like 800 million cell phones. So people, why are you not sending me your films?
Absolutely.
Right?
Get it
Do
out
it.
there.
And so that $300, that's just a start, because first they have to get through their costs as a distributor, because they don't charge you anything to put it on. So they get it on all these platforms. Yusef's gonna ring again. I'm trying to talk quick. But so once that's done, so I think you're gonna start getting bigger and bigger checks every quarter. So.
Well, and to me, the most important thing out of it all is that not the money, but all that money means that somebody is watching
your
film.
That's
the coolest part of it all.
800 million people.
Thank you, Liz.